When it comes to kids in anime, it's almost funny how rarely they ever feel like kids. You think with how often we see young protagonists, especially in a genre dedicated to them, they'd be much better at conveying the expressions of young people. Now, I'm not saying that every story that features a minor should have them behave a certain way, as they do and act in whatever way the story needs them to, but I just think it's funny how you look at certain characters like Lelouch and Jotaro, people still in high school, and your suspension of disbelief struggles to be, well, suspended. In the end, they all feel like adults trapped in young bodies. They're characters first and foremost after all. Their emotional core, the decisions they make, the burdens they carry, they're meant to appeal to both young and adult viewers, unless the story specifically targets a certain demographic. SANDA however flips this on its head, writing kids to feel like actual children first and characters later. It's messy, emotional, and unfiltered while criticizing and celebrating both childhood and adulthood through the lens of a world where youth has become some form of social currency that is forever lauded by the adults that inhabit it. The world of SANDA is one I can best describe as post-apocalyptic, not in the traditional sense of dealing with some world-shattering cataclysmic event, but rather it's a lot quieter and more unsettling. Due to Japan's ever-declining birth rates, its society has changed to put more emphasis on youth and their upbringing to ensure they grow up to be upstanding citizens that go on to repopulate the country. It has become a world where youth is the pinnacle of existence. The moment before puberty, at the age of 14, is seen as the purest form of humanity, and to age beyond that is to decay. Society is now built around children, especially teenagers, where their youth is the most sought after thing. Their lives have become heavily curated, raising them in environments where they are low-key treated as gods. All their whims are overindulged, all their emotions, both good and bad, are validated, and there is no friction whatsoever to be experienced. It's heaven on earth for these kids. But behind all that comfort lies control. The adults have made a system that is designed to make children happy all the time. They are not given opportunities to experience any kind of sadness, trauma, or failure whatsoever, ultimately stripping them from those fundamental parts that make humans, humans. They've even gone so far to eliminate the need for kids to sleep. Right from birth, they are given vaccines and put on special diets that prevents them from sleeping, being made to believe that sleeping is a vile thing that no kid should do, since when you sleep, your body releases growth hormones. So instead of sleeping, kids have been trained to just lie there and rest. They have removed the one constant every living being relates to, all in a sick attempt to preserve youth. The more you experience the world of SANDA, the more you come to realize the terrible ramifications such a system has, even on the adults. Their mad quest to maintain this system has left them haunted by nostalgia, unable to move forward and fully grow into adults. Most adults have some kind of unhealthy obsession with youth, none clearer than Headmaster Oshibu, who has spent trillions on all sorts of plastic surgeries and robotic enhancements just to maintain his youthful glow. One thing that makes the world of SANDA truly terrifying is how normal it all feels. As someone looking into their world from the outside, I was constantly made to feel uncomfortable with how a lot of their society ran. It was outlandish to me, but to them, it was how they've always lived. And what really drives it home is how there really isn't anyone aware of how wrong it all feels. There is no conflict, no government superpower enforcing these rules, and no rebellious group of teenagers looking to take down the system. And you can't really blame them. From the moment they are born, they are made to feel a particular way about everything. They aren't even given the chance to explore their imagination because of the implications imaginative thoughts could bring. Hence, urban legends, fairy tales, and myths are pretty much non-existent because they don't want kids feeling heartbroken or disappointed when they ultimately find out that these things don't exist, such as Santa Claus. From the moment they get into school, they are taught growing up is a shameful thing and should live their life to the fullest before they inevitably become adults. From this point on, it stops being about preserving innocence but manufacturing it. They are stripped of their chance to mature naturally and don't even have the ability to understand what that means. From birth, they are told that they are the most important people alive, so how do you expect them to learn empathy? How would they explore their identities when the world has already decided for them? How will they learn resilience? They don't, because the adult's obsession with coddling them ends up destroying their ability to live, which is why when they become adults, they are stuck reminiscing about their younger years, going on to continue the cycle. Every single adult in SANDA peaked in high school. And this is where our main character, the titular SANDA, comes in. With his ability to transform into the adult Santa Claus, as ridiculous as that sounds, it fits right in with the themes the story is trying to convey. He gets to experience the ups and downs of both childhood and adulthood. When he becomes Santa, his whole mentality changes because of the inherent nature of Santa Claus, who lives to grant the wishes of children, putting them at the top of his priority list. He gains a new perspective on what it means to be a child and the troubles that come with it. He comes to understand just how vulnerable children really are, and despite how this world treats them, making them the pinnacle of everything, what they really need are responsible adults to guide them down the right path. He also understands just what adults have to go through, the tough decisions they have to make each day, and how they have to emotionally detach themselves from their actions in order to get shit done, as opposed to kids who are emotionally invested in everything. His bouts as Santa also slowly begin to affect the kid inside him. He learns to empathize and be there for his friends, understanding them on a much more personal level than he previously did. He also begins to appreciate the youth he has in a way that's different from what their society has been preaching to them. Sanda's story arc is all about what it means to grow up right, not in a physical sense but on an emotional level and the beauty that comes with it. It's about being there for the people you care about while still giving them room to figure stuff out themselves, what their world is desperately trying to keep them away from experiencing. Sanda, the character not the series, serves as a beacon that inspires the other characters, both young and old alike, to change and grow into people filled with sincerity instead of cynicism. While Sanda, the series not the character, doesn't shy away from showing us how much adulthood sucks, it also, at the same time, shows a lot of respect for adults and what goes into being one, their enduring nature and how they keep on going even when joy is scarce. Simple things like finding joy in sleeping, the very thing kids aren't allowed to do, to feeling like you have control of your decisions, it paints these aspects of adulthood in a positive light. But where it really shines is in its portrayal of adults and their responsibility to children. Yagiuda, a character that initially starts out as an antagonist before reluctantly warming up to the children, acts as a mentor to these kids, giving them really solid advice and training them from time to time. Despite being one of the only adults who knows Sanda's true identity as Santa Claus and is on a mission to kill Santa Claus, his love for these kids overshadows his objective. You can see the genuine joy he gets from helping these children, not because he's legally obligated to, but because he enjoys it. He doesn't even shy away from scolding them when the need arises. I love their relationship because he acts as the first real positive influence on these kids, and in turn, they begin to influence him positively too. It shows that despite how old adults get, they can still learn from the kids they look after in ways they wouldn't expect. And while the series celebrates childhood, it also doesn't shy away from showing us just how children can be really, well, childish. Kids can be selfish, impulsive, inconsiderate, ruthless, unfiltered, and, well, you get the gist. A lot of the young characters tend to put themselves first and foremost without even realizing it. They often dismiss others in a heartbeat and hate having to inconvenience themselves to do things they don't want to. It's a major flaw a lot of the characters have, but the story doesn't really shame them for it because they're children. It's from realizing their behaviors and actions and choosing how to proceed from then on is what really makes the character writing really solid. I could relate to a lot of these kids because I was a kid too and didn't find myself vexing at them when they made stupid decisions. I had to remind myself that these were kids first and they didn't know any better, which was a thought I didn't think I could have about children in anime. In the end, Sanda is a series about the ups and downs of growing up in a world obsessed with staying young forever, how there is beauty in the impermanence of life and how we as humans aren't meant to stay the same. It's about accepting all the growing pains that come with aging and not to fixate on one particular era of your life. People are constantly changing and allowing yourself to do so is one of the beauties of being human. That will be it for this video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it and don't forget to subscribe too so that you can stay up to date with new videos. As always, this has been your very favorite slice of bread. Stay toasty.